Okay, here we are with week 3, and I apologize for it being a day late, but this last week has been really hectic. Last week I said I was going to talk about enterprise architecture this week, but I want to be clear, I'm not going to try and explain or even have a huge discussion about enterprise architecture because enterprise architecture is massive. There are some really good frameworks out there. If you're interested, I would suggest going to look at TOGAF. There are some good enterprise architecture groups. There are some really great enterprise architecture people on LinkedIn. And I've linked a couple of them in the notes when I posted this video. Go take a look at them, reach out to them. Instead, what I want to talk about is where I think enterprise architecture goes. And what I mean by that is that this is my opinion. And there are lots of opinions about what enterprise architecture should be going forward. And I don't want to wade into that. I want to lay out where I think it can fit in. And when I mean today, I mean in a world where microservices development, DevOps, Agile, development on cloud and the use of machine learning, all of these things that allow us to more rapidly develop capability, where enterprise architecture fits in. Because I think a lot of people think it doesn't fit in anymore. I think it still has a role to play. And I think if we borrow some of the learnings from these other development activities, we can start to see where that role for enterprise architecture fits in. What I mean by that is that enterprise architecture can provide a framework or governance around the development of capability within an organization. So when a program comes along or a project comes along or just an agile work event comes along to develop some outcome, they can come to the enterprise architecture and see where that business outcome fits in. The enterprise architecture can act as a backlog and say the business has identified these outcomes and these things we want to do. We don't know which technology is going to deliver them, but we know we want these things done. And if they're enhancements to existing stuff, they can become backlogs in potentially a DevOps continuous integration, continuous development cycle. Or if there's something completely new to the business that they don't have any technology, it could be theoretically a agile series of sprints to deliver the user journeys to match those business outcomes. In this way, the enterprise architecture acts as the glue between these development activities. It can provide that framework so that two agile teams don't deliver the same capability on different platforms or different software or hardware. Because there's a unifying enterprise architecture framework that gives them a place to map those together, they can see key dependencies, key interoperabilities that microservices development might have to take into account to make the outcome for the technology be what the business is looking for. Again, this is about technology delivering business outcomes, not delivering an agile sprint to give us the technology. And I think it's easy within a continuous integration, continuous development, or an agile sprint to get wrapped up into, well, I've talked to the business. The business I talked to said they wanted this user journey. The user journey was chunked down into these backlog items that we did. We selected them and we sprinted and delivered them. All the while, there are things that the business isn't aware of that require integration, service reporting, service management, all of these things that may happen outside of that business unit's use of the product, that enterprise architecture will show you the linkages between them. So that's my view. I really think enterprise architecture has a place to play in this new world, and I think it is a valuable place that can provide a lot of really good outcome. So next week, cloud. We're going to talk about IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, all the AAS things. And until then, please comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks.